In narrative art and literature, there is a choice to be made. What counts as victory, and what is worth sacrificing to meet that objective? Well-crafted stories often present a dilemma of sacrifice, or make it an inevitability. Sometimes this inevitability is something that the characters themselves must confront and discuss, and other times it's baked into the surrounding storytelling. But the commonality between great tales of heroics and valiance is that no win condition is free. We, as Genshin players, should understand this writing truth. Everything past 1.0 raised the stakes in ways the original narrative arcs never did. But at the same time, Rukkhadevata and Focalors were characters we met in the same scene that would be their end. It doesn't minimize the impact of those scenes, but it hits on a different wavelength when the loss is someone you've come to know. La Senora set the precedent that we shouldn't assume anyone will stick around for the long haul, even ones who have had every narrative set up to be the baddie in the shadows at the close of every nation. But it was Natlan that should have taught us that plot armor does not exist for everyone, and Genshin won't tell us who has the bulletproof vest and who doesn't. Koichi's death delivered in Act 4 was a slap of reality, and Capitano's reduction to eternal stasis stabbed the knife in and twisted it. Deaths of popular characters, interruptions of potential. Feels like it breaks a promise we didn't even realize we were holding on to. The promise that important characters are protected, that popularity or untold stories or affection grants them immunity. But in a game where we have already lost so much, and from a studio that has already shown in other IPs that they are not afraid, it's a hope we should know better than to keep. The loss of Sandrone was rattling. Despite my constant theorizing that her arc made the most sense to end alongside Act 8, I still wanted to believe that she was safe, right up until the moment she arrived at the boss arena with us. And then I knew. This was such a brutal death, and at the same time, such a heroic and in-character way to go out. Face to the enemy, defiant to the last breath. Even as the powers of the cosmos lay in her enemy's palms, Sandrone refused to be ruled, refused to be intimidated, refused to be afraid. I still fully believe that, given her backup plans and the narratives surrounding her and synthetic beings in general, there is hope to bring her back in some way. But I could also see a Genshin that says, no, this time, this one isn't coming back. This one isn't in stasis. This one is gone. There are a lot of scenes in video games I rewatch, even tough ones, for artistic appreciation or to simply enjoy such cinema once more. But this one, I already noticed the details I wanted to. I saw the coloration of the clouds, the angling of the shadows with the sun behind our enemy, so that while Sandrone sat in the shadow of her executioner, she was still facing the light. She was still in control. I don't need to rewatch this one, and I don't want to. Sandrone didn't die because she was careless or weak. She died because she stood her ground when retreat would have been safer. As the horizon stretches ever on into threats even more powerful, as we begin to untie Tevat's own ontological threads, Sandrone gives us a truth to march forward with. As the road grows darker and the enemies more merciless, her legacy isn't her sacrifice itself. It's courage. To keep your face to the enemy and confront the next moments, even when the cost is everything.